Hello everybody. Cal, the German Shepherd, will be taste testing 15 different Walden Farms products today. And here comes Glizzy because she discovered that I brought some cookies for her and Cal, a true dog owner, knowing his place that I cannot possibly be taste testing without sharing. No, I guess they're just not camera shy, so they're gonna be here with us in the garage gym. Anyway, you can see I only have 12 of the Walden Farms flavors on the rep workbench here, or the weight bench. That's because 3 of the products actually broke during shipping, so I will, at the end of this video, include those 3, assuming that I get another package to replace them, and detail the experience, what you can expect if your Walden Farms products break during shipping. Other than that, let's go ahead and dive into this. The reason why I'm starting it so early is because I am so tempted to just start using these products. And here, Cal, come here. Want a treat? Here. But, so I'd like to just get these 12 done if I have 12 available so that I can start using them in day-to-day life. Let's go ahead and get started with the taste test. Okay, so what are my goals here? And no, I'm not talking necessarily big picture about, obviously these are used for weight loss or maintenance. They're all 0 calories. That's the whole project of Walden Farms, is to make products that are 0 calorie, and essentially you can flavor your foods without worrying necessarily about counting those calories. That's kind of big picture here. I'd love to find something, that idea just piques my interest, but honestly, I feel like there's some controversy around them. People seem to either love or hate Walden Farms products and often say that they taste very chemically. I think that I have a very realistic expectation or perspective. For example, I know that we have some peanut butter that I love peanut butter, but it's so high calorie, the normal peanut butter. And I'm not the biggest fan of PB2, but for 0 calories, I mean, it sounds like a miracle, yet I think that I have realistic expectations. I'm not expecting it to necessarily taste exactly like peanut butter or have that same consistency. This here chocolate peanut spread, that's obviously not gonna just taste magically like Reese's. I think that I have a level head going into this, and I will be rating these from best to worst as well as I can, considering that we have savory, we also have sweet, and frankly, I'm not even super familiar with all of the flavors that I ordered. I kind of just bought basically everything that sounded good because I wanted to reach the free shipping threshold there of like $75, so I just got a whole bunch of stuff. And yes, I've looked at the labels once or twice, just throughout the process from shipping, opening the box to now, but I frankly, I don't remember all the flavors even, so that's why I have them kind of facing you. And even though I've looked at them all, I'm sure that I'll turn some of these around and kind of be surprised at what we are exactly working with. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into this. We have a little treat for Glizzy. These are not Oreos, even though they smell absolutely delightful. Maybe, I don't know if, here, Cal. I don't know if dog treats were considered 0 calories. That would be pretty cool. But regardless, honestly, I do know from peeking that we have the Walden Farms chocolate peanut spread, and I want to try that first. So that's what we will start with, and then the rest of these, we will just see what we end up with, frankly. I'm going to first, let's go ahead and smell. Got a nice pop there. Okay, I'll tell you right now, that smells very good. I guess Glizzy got the first taste test because they're licking the lids. Oh my goodness. That's so goofy. But initial impression, it does kind of smell like PB2. It just has that, I don't know if that's a specific ingredient, but the consistency is obviously not nearly as thick as peanut butter, but the color And the consistency is not super liquidy though. I mean, it's kind of jiggling in the jar. That's not very bad at all. Nice color. And again, this is supposed to have a hint of chocolate. Anyway, so my overall goal here is not to compare these to the, let's just say, real life versions of the product. What I want is just kind of with a blank palette, I just want stuff that tastes good. If I can find a couple flavors that taste good, that are savory, and a couple that are sweet and taste good, I'm going to consider this a success. I don't care if this tastes nothing like chocolate peanut. If it just tastes good, in other words, I'm going to be very happy. So I'm going to take just I'm literally just dipping this tiny little measuring spoon in, and this is my first test ever of a Walden Farms product. Initial impression? Might be a little bit more salty than I was expecting, but honestly, what I will say is I would not like to have this on one of those, like my idea with this was to eat it with maybe a rice cake, but you have the plain rice cakes that are kind of a salt flavor or have salt on them. I would not eat that or eat this with that, but I think that this on a caramel rice cake, having the sweet of the caramel rice cake mixed with, this certainly has I'm gonna take a bigger taste here. I'm not necessarily tasting a lot of the chocolate, but what we will do is let's compare that to the regular whipped peanut spread and see what the difference is. Maybe there is a chocolatey difference between the chocolate version and the regular peanut version. So the peanut spread, very similar in color, perhaps a little bit lighter of color, but similar consistency and everything. So let's see if this just has a more unique flavor. I know that these are fairly divisive. The two that I'm starting with here, I've heard a lot of reviews of just being chemically and not good. And the thing is, so in all honesty, I wouldn't call it a peanut flavor necessarily. I think that I'm going to try making recipes with this. Again, I think it'll be kind of heavily relying on the rice cake or whatever you're kind of spreading this onto is going to really help with it. I don't think it necessarily stands too well on its own. Yeah, honestly, I have a feeling that it would be better on a medium of some kind. But on its own, I can't necessarily say what it absolutely distinctly does taste like. It's a very unique flavor. The first thing I would say though is it tastes kind of salty. And, but I wouldn't necessarily call it a peanut butter flavor. I'm gonna get one more kind of bigger scoop here. Both of these somewhat have the texture of peanut butter, or it's a thicker, it's not necessarily as liquidy as I was expecting, which is a good positive, but this is certainly going to rely heavily on what you're putting it on, and I would not put it on something that's already salty, put it that way. I feel like on something like a rice cake that is a caramel or chocolate rice cake, that's where these will shine. On their own though, I give them both a 6. 5 being absolutely average. I think that the consistency and the fact that they're not immediately off-putting to me gets it a 6, just slightly over average. But I will say, compared to the actual flavor that it's supposed to be, like chocolate, peanut, and just normal peanut butter, at least in the small spoon quantities that I've had, they don't really taste much like that. It's just a flavor that is not necessarily off-putting is how I would kind of describe that. Let's go ahead and pick something. Let's go ahead and pick something after all of that salty. Let's pick something that might be a little bit sweet. This is a raspberry fruit spread. Let's go ahead and crack it open here. Oh, I'll tell you what. Right off the bat, the consistency of this, the color, the actual thickness of it is very reminiscent of true kind of a jelly jam. And it does have a sweet, fruity smell. That's a very attractive presentation. I'm going to take a little scoop here again. Okay, that's very nice. It really does have a jelly consistency. Interesting. You know what that tastes like? In my opinion, this tastes like Propel water, which I've recently become a big fan of. This tastes like Propel water if Propel water were jellified. I consider that a compliment. If the peanut butter spreads were a 6 on a scale from 1 to 10, I'd easily give this a 7, 7.5. I will be getting more of this to be certain. The flavor is not overwhelming. It's almost like if you've ever tried any of the sports drinks that are, they say that they're flavored with essence, where it's a little bit less intense than like a Propel water almost. Like it's that essence flavor where it's just like, it tastes like you're drinking normal water, except there's like at the very back end just the faint taste of something that is a good fruity taste or flavor. This has that, except it's, I would say, slightly more intense. They nailed the texture, and it really does taste like a jellied Propel water. I consider this a win. So far, the two peanut butters, unless the caramel rice cakes and chocolate rice cakes really carry them to success, I don't see myself necessarily buying those two again. But this one here, very nice actually. So, I consider that a win for sure. Now again, I'm trying these in small quantities. So, in larger quantities, I'm sure the flavor can be more intense, maybe to the point of being off-putting. So in larger quantities, like such as being spread on a rice cake of some kind, the flavor, I'm sure, will be exaggerated, and that could be to a fault, or that could be a success. Now let's go ahead and get these dogs some more treats, maybe so they get out of my way. Let's see. All right. Glizzy, shake. Good girl. Here you go, Cal. You just get one for being good. Now, let's go ahead just with whatever on earth is right here. Let's just take one as our next flavor. Okay, street taco sauce, creamy chipotle. Let's go ahead and see this. Now, I did refrigerate these, so they are nice and cold. For what that is worth, let's go ahead and remove the wrapper here. And honestly, some of these, the flavors, I probably haven't even tried in real life. I'm not sure, like, you know, street taco sauce, creamy chipotle, how that, you know, if I've had something that really represents that in real life or not. But probably a little bit. Let's just immediately see how this tastes just with a tiny amount. Oh my. That's quite good. Wow. Okay. Immediately there is a very slight kick of spice, and the flavor, I think that flavor is legitimately kind of delicious, and I'm talking even on its own. I can't wait to add this to maybe a healthy choice frozen meal, or who knows, but that is absolutely delicious. In my opinion, wow, that really would go well on if you wanted to make some nachos with, maybe I'm a big fan of those popcorners chips, or some of those like veggie straw varieties. If you wanted to make some type of nachos, this would, I think, set those up very well. My goodness. And creamy, I would say creamy. A lot of reviews, I was expecting stuff that was a little bit more watery. Now these are by no means super thick, but that is quite good actually. So far, I mean, we have to kind of separate these by sweet and savory in a way. And this is, I guess, our first kind of savory flavor. So I put that like top of the line. And as far as sweet, I mean, I consider peanut butter and stuff like that to be basically candy. So I'll pair those with the raspberry. I'll definitely say the raspberry is top tier. Then we'll go with the chocolate peanut butter, which I think was slightly better than the normal peanut. And that's kind of where we lie right now. I absolutely love that. So very nice. Let's go down blueberry syrup. Interesting. You know, I'm very much into hot sauce, and I just learned about kind of one of those famous hot sauces that is probably already very popular, is a blueberry variety, which I actually think that kind of having a blueberry flavor is kind of an attractive idea. Let me go ahead and get this open, and I'll be right back. Okay, now that we have a crowd too, I got one of those while I was getting this utility blade. Let's go ahead and try this Walden Farms blueberry. Yeah, I think it's kind of odd that they, I guess, package these, like if they're gonna be shipping all of these, you know, across the country, the fact that they choose to use glass is kind of a bold choice, because let's just say it was not very pleasant opening that package and having 3 of these broken in them. It was quite messy, of course, and not the most pleasant smell. So anyway, we got a little view of the consistency here. Again, this is not like super liquidy like I've heard people describe. The smell is quite interesting. I do say that I can get some blueberry in this scent. Is kind of reminiscent of the raspberry kind of jam that we just had there, but I'll take a little spoonful. Wow, again, that is, oh wow. That does have a great syrupy flavor. My goodness, that's actually quite good. They picture these on a stack of pancakes with blueberries. I'll tell you what, this is absolutely delicious. This is certainly going top tier of the ones that I've tried so far. Wow. I can tell you right now, I mean, that literally tastes like blueberry syrup. That's the first one so far where, I mean, kind of you got that with the savory, the creamy chipotle. Also, I think really tastes like what it should, but holy smokes. This blueberry syrup is fantastic. And even if it does taste more bold and intense with a larger quantity than this tiny spoon that I'm using, that is all positive. Like, that literally just tastes like, well, what it describes, which is, I mean, that's fantastic. So already, I say at the very least, we found one sweet and one savory that I'll be buying again. And honestly, the 3 other ones that we've already tried as well, I think, I'm not saying I won't buy again, I'm just saying that they do definitely rely, I believe, on whatever you're putting them on to kind of really help with that. Let's go ahead with whatever this is. Okay, so street taco sauce. This is street taco sauce queso compared to the street taco sauce creamy chipotle. So we'll go ahead and see if I can find anything. Like, again, this is one of those things where I'm trying to keep a level head and reasonable expectations while you want a treat. Good. Being very good. I'm trying to keep a level head. Here's a treat, Cal. But it's like, if I can find something that smells and tastes and has a similar consistency in a way to cheese, this is much more thick. So just as you would expect with the cheese sauce, it's much more thick than like a, syrup. But if I can find something for 0 calories that it all substitutes, that'd be fantastic. So let's see what we're working with here. Wow, that smells like pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. Instantly, I got the exactly what I would want from something that was a smell of cheese with like some peppers. I don't know, the consistency, I can tell you right now, is already decent. So let's go ahead and just dip the spoon in. These all have a very, I keep describing it as salty, but I'm not sure if that's even necessarily what it is, but there's certainly an ingredient in there. Maybe it is salt or salt-like, but these all have kind of like the same little tiny flavor that's consistent between almost all of these. I think that this is another good one, man. I mean, I'm sorry, but like, I think we just found another savory that's actually quite good. And I feel like it would depend on what meal. So it's a little bit difficult to kind of rank these two, the street taco creamy chipotle and the queso, because I feel like they go on kind of different meals. But, oh man, these are both really good. I would say, oh man, that's quite good. I mean, honestly, it's like if you want cheese, this would probably work. And then the creamy chipotle would work in a creamy chipotle situation. But if I had to pick one or the other, I think I like the creamy chipotle a little bit more. I'm not gonna lie, this is quite good. I think if I had to choose, I'm gonna go with creamy chipotle being a little bit nicer. But the thing is, like this, if you want 0 calorie, I mean, how often do you get 0 calorie cheese or anything close to 0 calorie with that? So I like how it doesn't just taste like cheese. I mean, it tastes like cheese and maybe some peppers, in the back end of it, the flavor maybe, which, I could possibly do without. I mean, if I'm wanting to add peppers to something, I can just add peppers to it. In fact, I just finished setting up the garden. I mean, it's not even the middle of February yet, but I'm getting things set up, the greenhouse, putting all the planters out and stuff. I'm gonna be hopefully growing peppers, and I always have jalapenos on deck. So I can, add that to my meals if I want. So maybe if it was just plain cheese, but maybe they went with the spicy because maybe it didn't taste as well just as a cheese flavor. But I'll definitely put it behind the creamy chipotle, but I feel like these really hold their own. And if you can't tell, I'm trying to go kind of sweet, savory. Chocolate, okay, so I'm a big fan, honestly, of smoothies. I absolutely love smoothies. So I know they say not to drink your calories. I'm on 1,200 calories a day as a currently like 230 or somewhere around 230 pounds or 220-ish pounds up there in the 20s. But I can really make a nice, flavorful, filling, sit. Good girl. Very good. I can make a nice smoothie that I feel like is very much worthwhile. I eat 500 calories in the morning, 700 in the evening, and that's what I eat in an entire day, and I drink water. If I can find something, oh my goodness, this is not chocolate. This is honey barbecue. I am so glad that I noticed that before I ate it expecting a chocolate flavor. This is not chocolate, this is honey barbecue. So, wow, okay. I mean, I guess still along the same lines, I was gonna say that if I can add a chocolate flavor to a smoothie, frankly, it'd be kind of just luxurious because, I mean, I like my smoothies already and find them worthwhile for the calories and filling and stuff. But if I could add some chocolate to that, that'd be great. Especially if I can replace, for example, I know the trick of the trade is to use like the powdered Jello mix to add maybe a cheesecake flavor, but that's still 25 to 50 calories. if I could replace that with something like the chocolate sauce. But either way, we're not at the chocolate, we're at honey barbecue. So of course this might go well with some type of meats or something. Let's go ahead and just dip the spoon in a tiny amount. A smell. Very barbecue sauce. I guess I don't know necessarily what I'm expecting because I don't necessarily eat a lot of honey barbecue sauce to begin with. So I didn't know, I mean, is it gonna be heavy on the honey? Is it gonna be heavy on the barbecue? Let me get another. Okay. The first thing that comes to my mind is almost like it's like a smoke flavor, and I feel like it heavily leans on the just the barbecue sauce side more than the honey. But again, it has that same. It has a little bit of bite going down the throat, I guess. But it's way heavier on the barbecue than the honey. And that flavor, that distinct flavor that I keep calling salty, that is consistent between all of these, this has that very much pronounced, where again, I think it might heavily rely on the kind of meat or whatever. I mean, it shows kebabs on the picture here. I feel like this will, again, heavily rely on what you are using it on. But I will say of the savory flavors, it's gonna go in the back end here behind the queso. Like my immediate reaction with the street taco sauces was, I'm gonna be buying these again, most likely. I mean, subject to change, but my immediate reaction with this one is, unless, again, it goes really well on specific items, I might not be getting that again. It certainly has a unique flavor. I feel like I would enjoy an average honey barbecue sauce. I don't know if that necessarily hits the nail on the head, but I mean, it's not immediately off-putting. I will say again, though, it has that, whatever that distinct, consistent flavor is, it has, it's very prominent in that. So of the savories, we'll go ahead and put it in the last place. And again, not horrific. I will still, I mean, so far all of these that I've tried, I'll at the very least finish. And then there's other ones that, of course, I will try, and I'll certainly be buying more. Here we have Walden Farms Alfredo. So that'll be an interesting concept here. I mean, I think these are like $5 each or something like that. So they might be a little bit, expensive compared to, what you might be used to if you're shopping at like Walmart or something. But so this is super liquidy. I'm not sure if that's what I would expect or not, to be honest. Like I don't really use Alfredo sauce, but I guess it shows the Alfredo noodles and stuff that I guess is a little bit more on the creamy side. So this might not be necessarily as creamy as what you'd be expecting with Alfredo sauce, but let's go ahead and just see. I mean, this picture shows Alfredo noodles with chicken and oh, that smells quite nice. I'm not necessarily again, I don't know much of anything about cooking that much, but I mean, my first reaction when I smell this is it smells like a maybe Parmesan almost. So I guess it's like hinting towards that. I mean, it's probably just an Alfredo smell that I'm just not picking up on because of my own kind of palate or whatever. But it certainly has that distinct, I guess I'm taking a hint and like I'm acquiring that Walden Farms like distinct flavor. I will say, if you don't like whatever that or underlying flavor of like salty whatever is, I mean, then you're not gonna like any of these at all. But again, some of these I feel like they rely on what you're putting them on, and others of these they kind of hold their own. But let's just go ahead and see here. Wow. First impression, it kind of tastes like a chip. You know what this reminds me of, in all honesty? One of my favorite varieties of chips, back when I did not care about what I was eating on a day-to-day basis. It was those, there's something like a cheddar. It's one of the main like Lay's brands of chips or whatever that are kind of, you can buy them right now off the shelf, but it's like a very strong cheddar cheese flavored like Lay's chip. And this tastes like that in liquid form almost. It is very liquidy, I'd say. So if you don't like that, I mean, and wow, there's only 5.5 servings per container. So I say that in a good way because I mean, you know, it's still 0 calories per serving. So 0 calories for, you know, essentially like 1/5 of this, which is kind of a lot. Wow. I mean, again, so, you know, how far will that stretch if you're making, you know, an Alfredo pasta dish or something, or maybe using it on whatever, zucchini noodles or whatever you're doing, you know, that you might use this whole jar, you know, fairly quickly. But I'll tell you what, that was quite good. I mean, that has a nice cheesy flavor. Here, you want some of this off my finger there, Glizzy? I'll get you some, Callie. You'll get some of the next, whatever we have. I'm gonna certainly put this as far as a ranking of the savory flavors. That is going, man, I mean, it's like the battle of the cheeses up there at the front. It's certainly going in front of the honey barbecue, but oh man, it's a hard choice between, I think I'm going to leave it in third place behind all of the street taco because I am a fan of spice. So I'm a fan of distinctly like those two flavors of spice. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it in third place. I'm almost tempted to move it up past the normal queso cheese, but I'm just not willing to. But the cheese flavors definitely are all three of these at this moment. As far as initial reaction, I can see myself buying those again, which again, I mean, I'm pretty satisfied with that, to be honest. Let's go ahead with strawberry syrup, and they have an attractive image there with a kind of ice cream scoop with some strawberry syrup. Let's go ahead, open this up. We get kind of the same syrup consistency, so we can compare this, I guess, mostly to the blueberry syrup. And let's see. Immediately, it has an attractive strawberry scent. As you can see, Glizzy is kind of curious here, but let's go ahead and dip this in. Oh, that almost tastes like it is on ice cream. Like that almost has the strawberry and the ice cream taste in it. Oh, that's quite good. Wow. I'll tell you right now, okay. I don't know which one's going, like, this is immediately going in either first or second place with the sweet flavors. Wow, that's very nice. I'm gonna have to put that up front. Again, I just tried a couple little tiny spoonfuls, but that tastes delicious in my opinion. Right up there, I mean, the blueberry is not far behind, but those are two bangers. So right now, I'll say absolutely I'm going to be purchasing the blueberry and the strawberry again, and I'm going to be purchasing probably the Alfredo, but also the street taco sauces again. I'm impressed with that. So far we have, and I might even be purchasing the fruit spread again. So at the very least, we have 4 to potentially 6 of these flavors that I'm more than willing to try again. Now, to be fair, I'm kind of easy to please. Like when I used to just like binge eat food, sometimes I wouldn't have traditional food laying around, so I would literally binge eat on like survival prep food, like food bars. That is the worst thing in the world to binge on because those are made to be like specifically particularly high calorie. The bars I'm thinking of are SOS food ration bars in particular that are just bland enough to barely have any flavor. But what that means is you can eat a ton of them and not get tired of the flavor. And they're also 400 calories each for these little tiny bricks of bars. And I would literally, I could eat in one, couple day weekend span or something, a whole pack, which I think is like 3,500 calories or something. But my point being is those are divisive, just like Walden Farms. I'll watch a review of those and people think that they're gross or lack flavor or something, but to me, I think they taste great. Oh, so here we have like traditional pancake syrup, and if the trend with their syrups is consistent, then I think that this is probably going to be very good. Probably the same consistency and everything. Hi, baby. You're being very good. I give you guys more of this, but I don't know the ingredients necessarily. So it says water, natural flavors, xanthan gum, it does have that, cellulose gum, erythritol, salt, and some other stuff. Interesting, like nothing, basically, right, I was looking for anything that popped out for that, so it certainly does have salt in it, but let's see. That smells like a traditional, that immediately smells like something you just want to slap on a pancake, man, or a waffle or something. That is so pleasant. Wow. That's, again, like, that's a winner. They nailed it. Call it, chemicals or not, wow, that tastes sweet. That tastes sweet, actually, but guys, like, oh man, I don't know where to put this. Certainly top 3 along with the other syrups, and these are, noticing the trend that the syrups are going higher up ranking than the fruit spread, even though I know they're not the same thing. And I'll tell you what, this pancake syrup, not only does it taste accurate, which is phenomenal, because 0 calories, but the taste kind of lingers, which is quite nice, man. Honestly, I think I'm gonna put it in 3rd place, but that's literally just because of my own preference, where if I'm going to pick a syrup, or again, in my mind, I'm thinking of stuff to flavor like smoothies and stuff. So like the fruity flavors are kind of what I automatically gravitate towards, except when we get to that chocolate, hopefully. But like, I'm going to use this, like if you just wanted more, if you were gonna picture putting it on like pancakes and waffles, you would be putting this probably up front. But I'm gonna put it in 3rd place behind the fruity syrups, because I just see myself kind of using fruit flavors more. It's not necessarily that those two are extremely better, but right off the bat, this is going quite well. We have 2 more flavors, and then again, I'm gonna see how the issue gets resolved with the 3 missing flavors that broke in the box, and how we can get that taken care of. Okay, so chocolate syrup is next. This hopefully is going to go quite nicely. So far, I am impressed. I was a little bit not as impressed as I am right now with the first, the peanut butter flavors. I knew going into it that those are very divisive, and of course they are at the very tag end of the sweet flavor ranking. But let's go ahead and see where the chocolate syrup, it has the chocolate kind of, it's actually, might even be a little bit thicker, but it has that consistency. Nice pop. And it has that's a very distinct, that is certainly a chocolatey scent that it has. Oh, okay, so that's the smell that I'm thinking of. The smell I'm thinking of is like the Yahoo chocolate milk, or whatever that chocolate milk is that you got as a kid or something. Where it's just in a box, and I think it's like kind of a very artificial flavoring, but still like, I could down one of those with the best of them. It's okay, baby. Let's go ahead and eat the chocolate here. I think I hit the nail on the head. That's, again, quite good. I'm more personally going to probably use the fruit flavors. Who knows, though? I've never added chocolate to a smoothie before. So this might be the winner. But I think I hit the nail on the head there. Oh, that does taste very good. Again, it almost like all of these flavors that you put on like an ice cream or something. I don't remember which one it was before, but the strawberry syrup, how it has a picture of ice cream. It's almost like they put the ice cream in the flavor as well. It's kind of interesting. But yeah, I think I hit the nail. I think that I hit the nail on the head there, saying that it reminds me of that Yahoo chocolate milk, because that's really what it tastes like, to be honest. It's going to be hard to rank this, though, because that's quite good. In fact, so again, these rankings are obviously a little bit personal. I'm going to put it in 4th place behind the other syrups, but that's not because it's not good. It's actually quite good in my opinion. It's just because I see myself using those flavors a little bit more. Subject to change though, if I put this in a smoothie and I really like the idea of a chocolate smoothie, or if I find maybe on a rice cake or something to put this on, which lately I've been putting like pudding, like vanilla and chocolate pudding. Now that I'm thinking about it, which that's, I mean the chocolate pudding, for example, a little plastic cup of that is 70 calories. And I put that on the like caramel rice cakes. If I can put this on a caramel rice cake and get, you know, nearly the same effect as a 70 calorie little cup of pudding, then this gonna, you know, that's going to make me think highly of it. But my immediate reaction with syrups is putting them in smoothies. So again, I'm going kind of with the sweet kind of fruit flavors, and then I'm gonna put this right now in 4th place. But keep in mind that of any of these that I can see or imagine moving up in place, I think this one maybe has potential to move up in place a little bit more. So we are down to the last flavor now until I get the replacements of the broken containers that I don't even remember what those flavors are again. So let's go ahead, and I'm just lining them up here. We have our sweets and our savories. And our last one, oh, I believe I remember, let's see, maple bacon. So this is going to be kind of an interesting, I honestly am going into this a little bit blind. I don't even know necessarily what to expect. Maple bacon. I mean, it's showing basically like a normal syrup on pancakes, except with bacon involved there. So I guess we shall go ahead and see what we have. And definitely, you know, this is only the, I believe, 2nd video on this channel. Definitely share, like, subscribe, comment. I mean, that stuff really matters to a small creator, and giving your opinions and stuff. I mean, that's highly important. So, you know, certainly do that. Let's go ahead and get, this is, I'd say, a little bit more liquidy than maybe the other syrups, but I mean the color has kind of a caramel color, and I mean maple bacon. Let's see. Okay, interesting. It's like I don't necessarily usually like open a syrup and expect immediately being hit with a savory kind of flavor, which I kind of am here. It almost like I'm almost picking up on that same taste that I'm saying is consistent with that, salty taste that I keep mentioning. I can almost like detect it through smell now. And I do smell that here. And I think I just have to get over the hurdle of me just being kind of like, oh, maple bacon, just in general. Like, this is one of those oddballs that I threw into the order just as like, oh, I'll try that. It does have that. It does. I will say it has that kind of bacon scent to it. I'm almost more like transfixed with the scent than the flavor. But let's go ahead.
I know, it's okay.
Here, let's test this real quick. Wow. Okay, I'll tell you what. I was not expecting too much. Here, you guys. But that's actually. Hey, come here. That is actually legitimately sit. Good. That is, I'm actually, that, like, as far as impressive flavor, where I was very skeptical to begin with, and then impressed with the actual taste of it, that's gonna win that ranking, because the flavor was kind of off-putting me a little bit because of my own perspective on the weird mix of sweet and savory, and just the smell I was a little bit off-put by, but it actually tastes quite good. I mean, that, again, I think it literally is strong at the very beginning of the flavor. It's strong with the bacon flavor, and then it transitions literally to the, like, normal pancake syrup. So, man, that's, like, great. I'll certainly be putting it at the very end. In fact, I might even put that, I mean, it's quite good, but I don't know whether to put it at the very end of the syrups or maybe even behind the fruit spread. Let me take one more taste of the fruit spread, because to be honest, this is quite good. And wow, I think that this is going really well so far. I mean, there's not much that I've said negative, to be honest. Let's see, maybe this cap I might say something negative about if I can't tighten it right. Anyway, so let's go ahead and just really quick get another sample of the fruit spread, and we'll kind of see. Well, that's quite nice. That fruit spread is really good, but exactly what I was saying before. Instantly, again, the first thing that came to my mind is it tastes like Propel water jellified. So like the flavor is a little bit dampened. This maple bacon has a lot of flavor. Like, it's not lacking on flavor. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bump this up and have it be ahead of the fruit spread. So all of the syrups are right in a row, just like that. And so I guess this is our ranking from the basically the sweets from here down, and the savories from here down. And which of these do I immediately think I'll be purchasing again? Absolutely the syrups, absolutely the two first street taco cheese flavors, and optional, I'd say the Alfredo sauce and the fruit spread, the raspberry. Probably not going to purchase again, but you know, again, highly dependent on what you put them on, would be the peanut butter, and then the honey barbecue. Oh gosh, I'm gonna have to taste the honey barbecue again, because I'm not exactly sure again. Attractive scent. I think again this kind of will depend on what I put it on, but yeah, I don't think I'll be buying that again. Like that taste that I just had was it's very much, I think, and the consistent thing is the peanut butters and this honey barbecue sauce have that, whatever I'm describing as being very salty. Those three flavors I think are the most powerful with that flavor, with that whatever that ingredient is more prominent in those three. And I don't think it's necessarily a coincidence that they are both at the very ends of, you know, the savory and the sweet flavors. So I probably, my initial opinion, I'm not gonna maybe be buying the peanut butter spreads again, and then the honey barbecue sauce, I probably won't be buying that again, but the others I probably will. So that's what we have so far. We have 3 more to try, and that'll be in the next clip whenever that issue gets resolved, and I'll talk about the customer service experience and that whole thing. So here we go. It is officially that time, ladies and gentlemen. It is 8 days later, and I wanted to go ahead and give you an update on what the used sauces and syrups and whatnot from Walden Farms looks like in the refrigerator, how much I've used of each. As you can see, we've lost some. I did go ahead and I threw out the peanut butter varieties, and I don't remember if anything else, but if you don't see it here, then that means I threw it out because of trying it on different mediums and it not tasting good enough. So this is what I'm left with, and I will go into deeper detail and give my overall opinions after we get into the last 3, which just showed up. Well, not only did the replacement products arrive, but they arrived in good condition, so they did not break. I must say, while I open our first contender here that I'm most excited for, probably the caramel syrup, that the return process went very well. In fact, I had a response and a new tracking number within probably a couple of hours of initiating the request. And then I still went through I think you have to pay $1 maybe for the package insurance. I highly recommend that, because I'm not sure if they give a refund or replacement if you don't do that, which would be kind of bad customer service if you ask me, but either way, I did use that service and it went very smoothly and everything went well. So everything's packaged all right, and let's go ahead and give our little new flavors here a test. As you can see in that last clip with the refrigerator, I did end up really giving, I think, the peanut butter a fair shot, and I think there was a chocolate peanut butter. There might have been some other flavors perhaps, but that's really okay. We will go ahead. I was in the middle of a workout here, in the middle of a little snowstorm when the mail came, and after a snow delay, it's here. I say I'm most excited for the syrup because, well, the syrups are most exciting to me right now. Get out of the way, Glizzy, man. Okay, so the syrups have basically replaced exactly what I said. They replaced my puddings and whatnot, caramel syrup, and it's cold enough that it's probably gonna be kind of cold out right now. Oh, that smells exactly, that smells very good, like a nice caramel. But yeah, it's cold enough outside right now that this is a little bit chilled at least. I mean, what can you say? That has a fantastic caramel flavor. Reminds me exactly of just those little caramel hard candies. You can tell Glizzy, you want to try some? Come here, little treat. Does she want a little caramel? Yes, yummy, yummy. Yeah, share with the dogs, whatever. This is actually fantastic. To my point though, of why I was so excited about this, the caramel, all of these syrups are absolutely delicious. They go great on rice cakes. Just yesterday, I filmed my last video, which is the starting my weight loss garden is what I'm calling it. And at the end of that video, I made a 700 calorie meal, which was filling and delicious. And it utilized the syrup on both a caramel rice cake and a chocolate rice cake. This caramel syrup is gonna be used in the same fashion. And I did use it as well in a smoothie over the past week, which is delicious. I will say this is not a thick syrup. Some of them are thick. I think the chocolate is kind of thick. It just depends, but they really have the flavors very nicely profiled. And that's a success. I could say if you are feeling a little bit wary about which products to buy from Walden Farms, the syrups are fantastic. And just kind of tread with caution when it comes to the more spicy or savory, though. In that refrigerator video, you can see that I did keep one of the, or maybe even more of the savory flavors. Let's try, speaking of, this is thick and spicy barbecue sauce. So let's see if it is either. Now, most products that I find in the stores labeled as spicy, I don't actually find them to be very spicy. And I've been known to just work with jalapenos basically. But here we have, that's a very reminiscent of a generic, I guess, barbecue smell. And thick, as far as thick, you can see I have it just about right there, upside down, and it's hardly moving. So very nice. I'll just take a little bit off of the top here. Wow. So that has a little bit of a kick to it. That's kind of pleasant. I will say that it's quite cold out, so perhaps it's making it a little bit thicker. I don't know. Well, okay, so immediately my thought is my mouth keeps like hitting on, it's almost like a jelly type of texture that I bet would work its way to a little bit more smooth and kind of uniform, pleasant consistency if it was in a dish or warmed up. But having it cold as is, it has like a gelatin texture and little kind of chunks, which is not the most attractive. But let's not judge it purely based off of that, and maybe more just off the flavor, because I'm having it straight out of a cold bottle in particular. But the flavor itself, they picture it here covering some like shredded pork, and I think that that would be a delicious meal. But the texture is kind of weirding me out a little bit in this exact form, but I'm not gonna discount it for that. You can see Glizzy likes it. How do you like it, Gliz? She wants some. She wants some. How about Cal? Cal, you want some? Come here, Cal. Here, try some for the camera. Is that good, man? So they like it. So anyway, I guess I would say that this has certainly thick, but kind of an odd texture. I think that's because of just the conditions that we're in right now. I think that the flavor is actually quite good, and it has a very, slight kick to it, like to the point where I think that this is one that I'm going to go ahead and keep, but maybe in future videos I'll update you immediately. It's not off-putting to any degree other than that slightly kind of like weird gelatin texture. But flavor-wise, for 0 calories, this comes off certainly as something that I can find on a good meal that actually has, it's very flavorful actually. So nice. So those two are worth the wait here. It's been about 8 days. Let's go ahead and try. Now the Chipotle mayo is kind of funny for one reason in particular, and that's that when the original package showed up and the contents were damaged, the Chipotle mayo definitely, because it broke, really stunk the box up to where I might smell this and have like a bad memory just based off of how it smelled when it was kind of old in a shipping box, smeared all over the inside of it. So, kind of pleasant pop there. I'm just gonna be totally honest. First of all, I don't even know what Chipotle necessarily even means. If you can't tell by the gunshots that just happened, I live out in the country, and like Chipotle, I know it's a restaurant or something. I don't know if it's also like a designated flavor. I don't know. But I'm gonna say, oddly enough, my initial reaction when I first opened this, for whatever reason, is it smelled like almonds or some type of nutty smell. To the point where, it's almost odorless, actually. But, and the consistency is it's kind of light. It's very like to the point where it's more watery than mayo, but it's thicker than something that you would consider like super liquidy. And that's what they describe it as, obviously, kind of a mayo. They picture it on a sandwich. Little taste here. Oh, okay, wow. Wow. Having it straight off of the little measuring spoon that I'm eating off of, it's not something that is like extremely pleasant, but I'm trying to picture it on a sandwich of some kind, or like this is definitely something that would complement, I think, other flavors such as on a sandwich. That was a bigger bite. It has a very, I would consider that a mild flavor. It's not extremely flavorful, but it might be just enough to, if you're making a little sandwich, to give it a little bit of a 0 calorie, decent kick. It's not off-putting. I wouldn't even say that these have that, unless I'm just getting used to it, but that how I, in the first segment of this video, described the like trademark Walden Farms has, all the products had that weird, or not even weird, but just unique, constant flavor amongst all of them. I'm not even hardly detecting that in either of these. I can't even say, I think, basically I think it tastes good. But again, I feel like that's dependent on just what you're putting it on. As far as the chipotle aspect of it, it yeah, I guess it tastes like a normal, somewhat normal mayo with a different consistency, and then that different flavor that I'm tasting is, I guess, what chipotle is. And I must say that it's I was expecting this to be, you know, my least, like if I were to buy 2 of these and not buy one of them again, I kind of figured that I'd probably buy the thick and spicy and the caramel again, and not the chipotle mayo. I never was a big mayo person to begin with, and I think that holds true. The caramel, absolutely fantastic. Basically, I'm probably only going to buy the syrups again from Walden Farms, but that being said, I am going to buy them again. And depending on, again, how the thick and spicy and some of the things in the refrigerator go, we'll see if I end up buying more, or who knows, maybe they'll expand my horizons a little bit. I was making lettuce sandwiches a few weeks ago with literally just like romaine lettuce with some slices of turkey or something, and that's somewhere where this mayo could come in handy. But I must say, not overly flavorful, and basically it's not overly powerful of a flavor, but it's not off-putting to me. I can't say too much about it because I'm not the biggest fan of Chipotle, I guess, or the most experienced with it. So anyway, that concludes our test of 15 Walden Farms products, and I hope that you enjoyed and found it worthwhile. Ultimately, I think this is a positive experience. I said in the original part, or at least I was thinking, that my goal was to find some sweet and some savory that is at least tolerable, if not very good. I would consider the syrups very good, and the more savory or spicy to be decent, as long as I try them in the right fashion. And as you saw, I kept some things, got rid of others. So overall, I think this is a decent review that maybe you could learn from. Be sure to check out the other videos here, and subscribe, give me a thumbs up, give the dogs a thumbs up if you want, and be sure to stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good one.